Welcome to Club Reddit, where being a member is as simple as hitting that subscribe button below. Let's get straight into our first story. Entitled Mom wanted to move in with us, and then I left. This took place the summer of 2013. My girlfriend at the time was living in her own place and her mom, entitled Mom, wanted to move back from a 4.5-hour drive away. We had gone down and grabbed entitled Mom and her dog, who was a yippy kind of dog. He barked every morning that I got up to get ready for work. She said that she was going to sleep in the living room with her dog on her lap until her husband could get their place. The story went that he had it in the works with a renter and was just waiting for some paperwork. After a week, entitled Mom found out her husband had been lying about the new house and said she would move in with us. Reluctantly, I agreed. After learning they all owed money to a truck rental place, they asked me to get one. Again, reluctantly, I agreed. The truck rental was for one trip from her place back home. Remember this? I recruited a buddy and brother to help move her back to our place. It wouldn't have been so bad had it not been for the 4.5-hour drive into winding roads with a cliffside to one side. I drove my car down to the rental place and then they drove it to her old place as I drove the truck. We went early to have as much daylight as possible. Well, when we arrived we found that her place was in complete disarray. As we moved things, we found that entitled Mom's dog and other animals had taken dumps everywhere. We found boxes that were filled with crap, literal boxes of poop, that she for some reason wanted to keep. After working for 4 hours we needed to take a break. Mind you, only I was the professional mover as I had 2 years of furniture delivery at the time. Entitled Mom complained the entire time that we were resting that we weren't moving fast enough. After we finally packed the truck as much as we could, I found that my car's battery has been drained due to someone leaving the lights on. At that point it was too late to get a battery, jump cables from anywhere, and the closest Walmart was an hour drive in the opposite direction that we had to go. So I had to call off work for the next day for that. On top of that, we left out around 3 or 4 a.m. We had to put my brother and buddy in the back of the truck for the excruciating drive back, since there was no way I was leaving them alone for essentially a whole day by themselves in a highly wooded area in a house filled with literal crap with nothing to sleep on. About 15 to 20 minutes left in the trip we had to stop to get gas. And after the refuel the battery on the truck had died. Called the company for them to come jump it. When opening the back of the truck to check on the guys, a statue fell out of the back of the truck and shattered. Entitled Mom lost her mind and told the two of them to just start walking home. They didn't even care and started their walk back. Luckily my dad was able to come get them since it wasn't that far away. At this point I was sleep deprived from various things on top of having worked the day before we left and having left early the previous day for the move. Exhausted and frustrated, I just wanted to sleep when I got home before unloading the truck. Upon returning home I got a whole hour in before entitled Mom demanded we start to unpack the truck. After hours of demands I had enough and left and walked to my dad's. Girlfriend and entitled Mom both tried calling me for hours, but I had my phone off. When they finally got a hold of me I told them that we could go grab my car and come back home, but entitled Mom said she needed to get more stuff. The truck rental company only had us with one trip from her town to ours, but we added enough miles to add $300 plus to the order. My friend and brother were out. I wasn't going to ask them to do anything after experiencing that. Instead, entitled Mom's nephew hopped on to help. We went down, grabbed more stuff, and entitled Mom said she needed to get back to do a pool tournament. We jumped my car, she drove it back, and a few hours later we left too. Girlfriend's nephew and us, with me having had about 3 hours total sleep in the last 3 or 4 days. Girlfriend didn't drive and decided to sleep while we drove back. Nephew helped keep me awake so we didn't go off the cliffside. After countless hours I was fed up. Emptied the truck and took it to our town's rental place. Girlfriend and I had fought more than usual that night and I said that I needed to go on a walk to cool off because I didn't want to break anything. Girlfriend said that if I left she was locking the door. I didn't care, I just needed to get my head clear. She did lock the door and I realized she had my car keys. I threatened to call the cops, she didn't believe me. So, I called the cops. When they showed up she claimed that the car was hers. They asked for proof, and she pulled out the registration, which was in my name, including the insurance. She started screaming that she helped pay for the car, which made it hers. Entitled Mom stepped outside and tried to back her up. The police politely told them that they couldn't do anything and that the car was mine and to please hand over the keys. The cops left, and after a few threatening words from entitled mom and girlfriend, I left and never looked back. Now I'm married to someone who has stable parents and an unconditional love for me, and we are about to move into our own house after years of building each other. The packing and moving reminded me of this effed up time of my life, and I figured here would be a great place for me to tell the story. Next story. My entitled parents want to buy my eggs in exchange for a PS5. This happened just today, but luckily for me my parents haven't been persistent. My parents for 3 years have been trying to have a baby, but after failed pregnancies they finally decided to go to a specialist that is out of country. They have been going for the past month, and my mother has been diagnosed with a low egg count. My entitled mom was devastated. I'm her only child and I understand that she would want a baby because my uncle, her brother, has one 6 weeks ago. She came back last night in the middle of the night from her trip to the specialist, sobbing and crying about not being able to conceive. I understand how hard it is to no longer be fertile, so I don't have a problem with that. All day today has been horrible. She doesn't want to eat or do anything because of how sad she is. I don't know what it's like, considering I'm 15 years old and don't even know much about fertility. Not much was brought up during the day, until this evening. We were sitting on the couch and my parents were quietly talking behind me. I wasn't paying attention and was just watching Deadpool 2 while this was going on. My father then says, entitled Dad, we have something to ask you. Me. Yeah? What's up? Entitled Mom. Well, we just want to know how you were to feel if we asked you to be our egg donor. Me. Really uncomfortable. Seriously? But I don't even think that is legal. I'm 15 years old. Entitled Mom. So? The doctor out of the country suggested it and I want out baby to be my DNA too. Me. I mean, I'm just not really up for it, I'm sorry. Entitled Mom, getting a bit more upset. What? Why not? Is it because it's not ethical? You have to understand here that I was uncomfortable on so many reasons. I was so uncomfortable to the point I began to laugh nervously. Me. First of all, it's illegal. I'm underage. I would do it if I was at least 18. Secondly, it would technically be mine and my stepfather's baby. It would just be weird that my first blood child would be mine and my stepfather's and I have to treat them like my sibling, lying to them the whole time. Entitled Dad. I'll buy them from you. I'll even get you that PS5 you always wanted. I laughed, thinking it was a joke he made. My dad liked to crack jokes at times like these to lighten the mood, but he was serious. Me. But it's not as simple as buying a carton of eggs from the store. I'm human and I have to go through this really invasive procedure. You can't just buy my eggs. My parents didn't bring it up after that. I'm not sure what kind of doctor they are going to that allows them to do such a procedure to a 15-year-old. I also don't know why they'd ask for my eggs when I don't even know anything about my own body yet. After this conversation they went a bit cold on me like I'm in the wrong and got mad at me for playing Minecraft with my little cousin. I also wonder why they tried to buy my eggs and bribe me into letting them do an invasive procedure on me. They aren't usually like this, but I understand they are just emotional and desperate to the point they do anything. Edit. PS5 and Tesla is now the bribe. Oh boy, my parents are that desperate. I can't even drive. And our final story of the day is Mom taking credit for my athletic accomplishments. I shoot Olympic-style air rifle on my high school club team and my mom has been overly critical about everything. I improve slower than all of my teammates, so while my teammates were shooting higher scores mine were a bit lower than theirs. I'm okay with that because for me it's not a competition against them, but every competition I strive to break some sort of record for myself. But I also have really bad self-esteem issues because I've had to watch my friends be where I really want to be. My mom is one of those high school athlete failures. She partied hard in high school and blew any chances she had of playing college volleyball, and now I think she's projecting onto me. I put a lot of work into my sport. I go to every practice and shoot for hours. I've never touched drugs or taken a sip of alcohol. I like to think I'm a very disciplined athlete. Another important thing to know is that precision shooting is a very expensive sport. My dad has bought all of my gear for me. I've paid a few expenses here and there, but I use all of my equipment to the fullest extent, so it's not a waste of his time and money. My mom on the other hand has contributed very little to my growth as an athlete aside from the driving me to and from school before I got my license. But ever since I got it I've been nearly self-sufficient in that area except for the occasional gas refill. So to the main point. On multiple occasions my mom has made snotty comments about score to my face. Recently she told me that I should have shot 3 more 10s in a qualifying match so I could be going to nationals with my team. When I explained to her that I did the best I could, I was adjusting to a completely different brand of gun as I had saved enough to split the cost with my dad, and a new suit which was very stiff. She told me I should have tried harder and that I let my team down because now we aren't going to nationals. There are 4 on a team, and we have A, B, C teams. One of my teammates was selected to go as an individual and she only shot 2 or 3 points higher than me and I pointed that out to her and she repeated that I should have just shot higher. Then she said the following. Next year is going to be our year. I just know it. I politely said that it going to be my year, not hers, and she got mad at me because she paid for all of my stuff. I told her that she should stand behind the gun and see how easy it is to shoot as well as she is telling me to. And of course I got in trouble for that as well. This isn't even the first time she has reference to my accomplishments in matches. I was once placed 6th with a qualifying score of 585 and she made comments like, "We did it. We're doing great. We need to celebrate our accomplishment," and when I corrected her saying that it was me who shot the match so it is my accomplishment, not hers, she played the victim like she always does. To wrap this up, my mom has always made negative and damaging comments about everything in my life. It's gotten so bad that my friends just avoid her. I don't know if I'm overreacting or if she really is entitled, but I hope y'all enjoy the post anyway. If you enjoyed this video on entitled parents, be sure to support our channel by hitting like this video, tapping the subscribe button, and turn on bell notifications so you will be notified when we post new content. Thank you.